MHC on the rise.
Good evening, and welcome to MHC on the Rise, where it's our goal to create positive conversation and find solutions to the issues that impact Martinsville and Henry County. I'm here tonight talking to 7 great teachers throughout Martinsville and Henry County: Ms. Karen Adams, Ms. Michelle Ashworth, Ms. Cameron Cooper, Mr. Scott Gardner, Mr. Greg Hackenberg, Ms. Brooke Hankins, and Mr. Matt Woods. And we have, this is an extended conversation, and we want to start off here with, what is your greatest accomplishment? And I know as a teacher, you accomplish so much, some little, some big, but what's your greatest accomplishment as a classroom teacher? And we'll start here with Mr. Gardner.
Reflecting back through the years, as a teacher, earning awards, earning certificates and accolades, that's impressive. But really, as a teacher, is when a student walks up to you and lets you know that, you made a difference, you've helped me or my family. A couple years back, and recently, they had that Academic Excellence Award, thankful. And one of my students chose me, and I went there, and I wasn't really sure who it was going to be, but when I found out, it was like, it was powerful. And having that is by far, as a teacher, your most powerful accomplishment.
Absolutely. And they're all going to be humble. Your greatest accomplishment as a teacher?
All right, so the past couple of years, I got my Master of Education and National Board Certification, and that was really hard, but at the end of the year, at the very last day of school, there was a girl who I'd kind of known since she was in kindergarten, and because I had her older brothers and stuff, but she left just a really cool note on my board, like, Mr. Hackenberg, thanks for being a great teacher, you're like a friend to me, and even like a dad, because I don't get to see my dad much, and like, any trophies or anything else, I could throw those in the garbage, but that means the world to me, and I took a picture on my phone, and I cherish that.
Your greatest accomplishment?
Well, I guess both of us would have to go off with recently happened, being elected Teacher of the Year for the county and the city. Not to speak for Michelle, but I never dreamed of being chosen for my school, much less being chosen for the division. So that was something that was very humbling, and we've both talked about this. I mean, to be recognized like that, because that's not why you're in teaching. You're not in teaching, like they've said, to win awards or trophies or whatever. You're in it because you're in it for the children. But to be to be recognized by your colleagues and central office staff was quite humbling.
And that's what I was going to say. It's so humbling because you're nominated by your peers, and it's just such a such a great honor.
Absolutely, absolutely. We definitely appreciate you two coming on, and the sacrifice that we all make, as educators. And we're going to kind of get into, everybody's talking about creative thinking, so we're going to get into your critical thinking, creative thinking. What is your favorite teacher or educational movie? And then I want you to tell me, then tell me if there's like a scene in that movie that kind of reminds you of yourself. Who would like to go first? Mr. Woods.
Lean on Me with Joe Clark. I love that movie, Lean on Me with Joe Clark, because you see a guy who starts out with a vision for a school and how he wants to change people's lives. And you see everything he goes through and how by the end of it, he gets everybody to buy into it. I mean, you might not agree with the way he did it or how he went about it, but he had this vision that he could see, but he had to get everybody else to buy into it. And I feel like as a teacher, it's the same way. I teach history. A lot of kids like, man, history's boring, Woods. I don't know if I want to be in here. And then I just try to add my personality in there. I try to make it fun, exciting. We do things so that they can buy into it, and then they see why I come to school every day with a smile on my face, why I love what I do. So,
anybody else?
I was going to say that I really like the movie Freedom Writers. I mean, I guess, most people would say, oh, yeah, of course, because she's the English teacher. And, I mean, I guess it does appeal to me because of that. But there is one particular statement that she makes, and I don't remember what it is verbatim, but she basically says that her life makes sense because she teaches. And that's exactly how I feel. I mean, I just get so much energy from coming to school every day, and I really do believe that my life makes sense because of the students that
Absolutely.
I interact with every day.
Anybody else favorite teacher educational movie?
I like Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah.
It's funny. Maybe it's a tumor. It's not a tumor.
Mine's kind of, I guess not really an educational movie, but it's The School of Rock. It's about a guy who needed a job and it was taken in a substitute position, and he pretended like he was a teacher, even though he wasn't the teacher. But the story behind him really caring about the children and taking interest in what they were interested in. I mean, it was the whole theme behind what he did, you know, and caring about them and willing to risk, you know, everything he had to see them accomplish something. So I thought the story behind that, you know, that's kind of off the wall, was good.
I would like to add something that I've noticed though, that is completely not true. If you will look at the background on this especially television shows that feature a classroom, there's always a chalkboard, and probably 75% of the time, pop quiz is written across the board. And like, I don't know about you guys, but I've never walked in my classroom a day of my life and put pop quiz. I don't even have a chalkboard.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like Hollywood sort of vision of what a classroom is like is so
Those
different.
myths about education.
Very.
Well, Ms. Hankins, I'm glad you said it, because we're gonna
Okay.
give you your chance to make your own movie. If there was a movie about Brooke Hankins' educational career, Brooke Hankins in the classroom, what would the title of that movie be?
Yeah, that is I really do not know. The only thing I could think of was something that would have to have the word passion in it, but.
Passion of the Christ.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking of, the Passion of the Christ, but, you know, replace
Passion of the
that with
Teacher.
my name. That was all I could really think of, but.
Ms. Cooper?
I've sat and thought about this. I have no idea what it would be called. I'm not creative in that sense, so somebody else who paid much more can figure that out by coming and watching. I don't know, something like she said with passion, I guess something with caring in it, but Cooper cares, I don't know.
Cooper cares, hey, I like that.
I don't know,
I like that.
but it's something.
Tune in next week on BTW1 for Cooper Cares. Mr. Woods, I know you have something. You are a comic strip
Man,
superhero guy.
I don't know if I can live up to the one she just said. Who cares? To be honest, mine would probably be called Future, because the students know in my class I always talk about the future, and I always tell them, you know, how they're the future and how, you know, what we do now has long-term ramifications. So something along that line.
Okay.
I
Yes,
thought
sir.
long and hard about mine. Okay. National Lampoon's Tyler Perry presents Teachin' 2 Electric Boogaloo, a novel by Sapphire, with an exclamation mark at the end. Tagline, just when you thought it was safe to come back to the classroom.
I have to follow that.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I'm addicted to sports, and I coach a lot of teams and so forth, and it just almost feels like, it just struck me that game time. It's game time. Let's get it on. This is what we're going at. This is what we prepared for. We practiced, we trained, we've got the resources, the tools. Now let's go and win. It's the contest.
Awesome.
And so we're here to tackle be on the offensive and win, be
Awesome.
triumphant. So
Game time.
game time.
And I'm gonna jump in behind Scott. A song inspired me. The name of it's Today Is Your Day, and I play it frequently for my students. And in the song, it talks about how today is your day, and nothing can stand in your way, and people can throw sticks and stones, and life can get you down, but you just go out and make it your best. If you make up your mind, you can make it happen.
What's the old saying? Life gives you lemons.
Make
Lemonade. Just kind of make the best of what you have.
Yeah.
So we have some great movies in production, and Mr. Billings is gonna be the executive producer there. And then let's get serious a little bit. You know, we hear all the negative. And, you know, you mentioned that, you know, Hollywood has the pop quiz, and it's, you know, about education. It's, you know, they can always present it negative, but Mr. Woods, tell us before we go to break, what are your thoughts about the state of education in America right now?
To be honest with you, I'm worried. I feel like we have so much access to education through technology. Some of the things I can do with my students, I kind of laugh at them and say, 5 years ago I couldn't do this, but I'm worried because in some ways, sometimes there is a disconnect. When you, like you said, you watch TV, you listen to music, you rarely hear someone talk positively about you need to go out there and get education. So I just wish there were more people out there doing it.
Okay, 30 seconds. What's your,
Oh, good heavens, 30 seconds about the state of education in America. I think the biggest problem is poverty, because there's just a huge disparity. Poverty, nutrition, the amount of sleep the kids get, stimulation when they're young, early childhood education, things like that. And a lot of kids come to school without the social graces and without background knowledge that you would just assume that they would have. So that's a really big issue.
and when we come back from break, we're gonna talk about how do we overcome things such as poverty to still get students to pass SOL tests, to graduate, to stay awake in the classroom. So we're gonna take a break, and we're gonna come back and continue our conversation with the educators of Martinsville and Henry County.
The solution is right in front of our eyes. Get up, do something. MHC on the rise. Think positive. Oh, we gotta stay positive. Yeah. We can learn to love each other. Like my sister and my brother. MHC on the rise.
Jim Mills Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram presents Things That Are in the Family.
Going hiking with my dad.
Reading books with my parents.
Helping my sister with her homework.
Going on vacation together.
A Jim Mills lifetime warranty.
Cause all Daddy's customers are in our family.
And during the Chrysler Big Finish event, get 0% APR for up to 72 months on select new models.
Join the Jim Mills family today across from the Martinsville Speedway or at jimmillschrysler.com.
You're watching BTW 21, your neighborhood network, the pride of Martinsville. El Norteño in Patrick Henry Mall. Come join the fun at the largest Mexican restaurant in Martinsville.
Hi, my name is Ronald Bennett, and welcome to Family Pharmacy. We're located on 58 outside of Danville at the Brownsville Station. We're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 6 and 9 to 2 on Saturday. We have a drive-through service, and we fill all prescriptions. I'd like you also to meet our store manager, Stan Liggett, and our lead technician, Jordan Bailey. Come in and take a look at us. We're a small pharmacy doing big things.
I think that NCI brings a hope to Martinsville.
NCI has allowed me to grow as an individual and as a person.
This is progress. This is saying a lot, and we have NCI to thank for that.
This has been a journey that I will never, ever forget.
I would just like to encourage anyone who is thinking about furthering their education to please seek out NCI.
The solution is right in front of our eyes. get up, do something. MHC on the rise. Think positive. Oh, we gotta stay positive. Yeah, yeah. We can learn to love each other. Like my sister and my brother. MHC on the rise.
Welcome back to MHC on the Rise, where we're having a positive conversation about Teacher Appreciation Week. And as we went to break, Mr. Hackenberg was talking about poverty and the impact that poverty has on education. But one thing that we don't hear enough of is what teachers are doing well. What are some of the things that you and your peers are doing well?
I think teachers care about their students. It's important to build relationships and get to know your students. Teaching a subject is easy, but you have to connect to your students. You have to first teach the students, and then you can teach the subjects.
Okay. What are some other things that teachers are doing well?
Go ahead.
Okay, I was just gonna say that, our students today are of a completely different generation than probably most of us were, and I think that teachers are doing a great job trying to connect to that generation and understand their technology and incorporate that into our lessons and to make, the time that the students spend in our classroom more engaging. So I think stepping outside of maybe our comfort zones and at least trying to appeal to them through technology is something that we're doing a great job at.
Okay.
And again, that's accurate. Trying to it's almost a learning styles approach to it. You're hitting the children where they respond, in the sense that I'm active, or I'm more, docile. I'd rather be in the book, and so forth. But once you find those characteristics, once you learn your children, and again, that's that process of building those relationships. Once you figure that out, then they're able to advance where they feel comfortable. And again, that's part of the training the teachers go through, and it's learning styles and so forth. And that's where they make the largest impact. So we're able to handle the situations that we're presented based on our training, so they make the most of their time in school.
I think one thing we do is we overcome obstacles too. I mean, our students come to us with so many different backgrounds, so many different problems. They come in the morning, come to us with, and we overcome those obstacles, like he was saying, poverty, and some of us it's class sizes and different things like that. And we overcome those obstacles to continue to teach our children, no matter what issue we face.
Ms. Ashworth, you're a salesman. Henry County has just sent you out. They need to bring in some new teachers. Give us your sales pitch. How are you going to encourage people to, get into the field of education?
I would say that teaching is the most effective and enjoyable way to change the world. You know that when you go to sleep at night, that you've made an impact on the future.
Mr. Hackenberg.
I'd like to say, don't be a teacher if you want, a lot of pay, if you want a lot of recognition. But if you're a driven person, if you're compassionate, if you do want to make a difference and you're willing to get, roll up your sleeves and get your hands dirty, then yeah, it's totally cool. It's a really, really awesome profession, but it's only for those who are in it to win it.
What else would you all add to that sales pitch?
It's a rewarding deal, and it's not monetary. It's not those goals, those accolades. It's rewarding, and so for that individual that you're trying to sell this to, you're looking for them to make that connect. Do you want to make a difference? At the end of the day, at the end of your life, do you want to have something on your tombstone, he had this much money in his bank account? Or do you want to say, I've touched the lives of these children? I have an impact. I have made a difference. And at the end of the day, when you lay down, and every teacher that's watching this, when you lay down at the end of the night of the hard day at work, you're appreciated. You have made a difference. And that's the rewarding part of it.
Absolutely. Anybody want to?
Are we still doing a sales pitch?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're doing a sales pitch.
Mine wasn't very good, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, and I don't know if this is very powerful in terms of persuading someone to be a teacher, but I would say that, you can't expect sometimes to be blindsided. There are times where you will just pour your heart into a student and, really, go above and beyond to help make a change in that student's life. And then, at the end of the day, he or she doesn't necessarily, take what you've offered and done something better with it. But on the flip side of that, it's also about planting seeds, and you may not ever see what exactly the impact is, but just hopefully it's in there somewhere.
Absolutely.
I was going to say, kind of piggybacking off of what all of you said, just changing the world. You're a teacher, you have a chance at doing something special. Another reason I got into teaching, tying into it, is, growing up, I didn't see teachers like that. Even though I had great teachers, I sometimes felt that disconnect. And I always thought, like, if I go into teaching, maybe that kid who kind of felt left out, maybe now they see I got a chance. And it might not be teaching, it could just be in anything. But, I honestly believe, a good sales pitch, just for anybody out there trying to be a teacher, you have a chance of changing the world.
Absolutely, and we're coming to the point where we're going to close up. We could talk education all day, but we have about 5 minutes. We're going to start with you, Mr. Woods. Tell us, give us your final thoughts.
Thank you for having me. For the kids out there watching, I hope this inspires you to go and become a teacher. For my students out there, I got love for y'all. Man, that's really all I have to say.
Okay.
Can you come back to me? I'm thinking.
It's Martinsville
So
City Teacher
our
of the
final
Year.
thoughts on education.
Yes, ma'am.
So I just really feel that being a teacher is the most important occupation that there is. So if you're thinking about becoming a teacher, it really is the most rewarding thing that you can do. And if you're a parent, I know we all have lots of parents that support us, but make sure that you are involved with your child's education and you do support them at school and communicate with the teacher, because it does make a big difference.
Absolutely.
And my thought would be for everyone to look at every day as an opportunity. Make the most of it. Go out and make a difference in someone's life. And our job as teachers is to send our students out into the world better than when they walk through our doors.
And I'd say that, as teachers, I think the greatest gift that we give children is our time. And we take time and we're building these relationships with them. And they help us stay young. They help me stay young at heart, and I have fun with them. So.
Righteous. Teaching is really cool. It's a great profession. You get to, hang out with kids and make an impact. And don't be afraid to be silly. If it's talk like a pirate day, dress up like a pirate. If it's, school spirit day, go all out. The kids really respond to that. So it's okay to, let your pride down and just be goofy once in a while.
Mm-hmm. And if you really reflect upon your position, anyone that's in the education field, you directly impact the future of every position, every person who grows up, went through an elementary, middle, high school. So in a sense, the root of everything in this country starts with our education system. So it's encouraging to see who's here tonight and see who's in TV land to know that we can make a positive difference, especially in Henry County and Martinsville. I would like to insert as well, if you see this show, maybe jot down a note with your child. Let them take it to school. Let your teacher of your child see it. And just, as a teacher, it doesn't have to be anything elaborate. Just thanks. We're praying for you, or thank you for what you do. You make a difference.
Something from the heart.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm ready now. I was just thinking how sometimes, someone asks me, what do you do for a living? And I'll say, well, I teach high school. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry. And I just want to say, I really do not feel that way. And very often I'll respond with, well, no, I have an awesome job. And every single day I wake up and, I never feel like I don't want to go to work today. And I feel completely blessed to have that feeling and to get the energy from, the people that I'm with every single day, and, you know, it is true, and I'm gonna piggyback off what Scott said, you know, even if you're an adult, feel free to drop your former teachers just a line and say, you know, you impacted me in some way, and just let them know, because it does feel good.
Okay. Anybody have any, about 1 minute, any last? Yes, sir.
Throw something in there. Thank you to the parents. I think I speak for all of us out there. For the parents and the guardians and the businesses who do, you know, just go out your way to say thank you. I know I have a bunch of parents out there who will send kind emails to me. Like you said earlier, you don't know how much that means. Just quickly saying thank you. So thank you to you all.
10 seconds, anybody? If not, I want to thank you all for coming on to MHC on the Rise, because as Mr. Gardner said, you know, every time somebody in a courtroom, you know, here's a court case, I mean, that judge was, you know, taught by somebody. You know, that lawyer, you know, went through somebody's classroom. You know, that doctor who's performing surgery, you know, went through someone's classroom. So every profession, every field is affected, you know, by teachers, and you'd be surprised if you have a conversation with them and ask, you know, what motivated you, what inspired you. They're always going to go back to, you know, that perfect teacher for them. And we may not be the perfect teacher for every student, but we can be the perfect teacher for some students. And, you know, you never know who that student is going to be. And ironically, a lot of times it's that student who's not the perfect student for you. So you become the perfect teacher for them, although they're not the perfect teacher for you. And on behalf of Martinsville and Henry County, I want to thank each one of you. I wish you all a great Teacher Appreciation Week. Thank you for coming on to MHC on the Rise, and look forward to, you know, reading about you in the paper and seeing the great, you know, scores and, you know, kids getting ready to graduate high school. And I want to thank Warrior Tech for allowing us to come here and to, you know, film this segment of the show here at Warrior Tech. Martinsville, Henry County, have a great week.
The solution is right in front of our eyes. Get up, do something, MHC on the rise. Think positive. Oh, we gotta stay positive. Yeah, yeah. We can learn to love each other. Like my sister and my brother. MHC on the rise.
At Southern Virginia Properties, you will receive friendly, reliable service for all your real estate needs.
Southern Virginia Properties helped us find our house. I'd encourage anyone who is serious about finding and buying a house in this market to contact Southern Virginia Properties.
I give all the credit in the world to Southern Virginia Properties. They really are dedicated to the work that they do, and they're dedicated to the community that they serve.
Thank you.
You're watching BTW 21, your neighborhood network, the pride of Martinsville.
Hi, I'm John Fry at Rocky Mount Family Pharmacy. We'd like to invite you to come see Family Pharmacy and give us a try today. We offer $4 and $10 prescriptions. We offer the $4 and $10 list, as well as immunizations, over-the-counter medications, diabetic care and supplies, candy flavorings. We have 50-cent greeting cards, low-priced makeup, sunglasses, reading glasses, and more. We offer free delivery within about a 10-mile radius. Give us a call at 489-5400. Let us be your family pharmacy.